distribution analysis, sensitivity analysis, expected monetary value analysis, and modeling and simulation. Interviewing technique, sensitivity. Interviewing is actually interviewing the people who are really involved in projects. Sensitivity is what happens, what if situation, that is sensitivity analysis. And expert judgment is Delphi method. That means you are asking multiple set of group of people, asking them to debate over and come with their assessment of the situation. And finally, throwing this open among them to come out with a consensus opinion on this solution. And of course, the expected monetary value analysis. That means, you have multiple options available. If you take A, what is the output of that? And if you take B, what is the output of that? Which is giving you more monetary value. That's what you are doing. Decision tree analysis. Later, I'll show you one slide. I'm not going to go into the theory of it, but decision tree is typically multiple options, multiple probabilities, finding out which one is going to give you the best payoff. That's what you are doing in this decision tree. And probability distribution is depending on probability and the consequences, how it is getting distributed and which one to attack first. Monte Carlo simulation is for the residual risk analysis. Ultimately, just to give you an idea, the estimation given by estimators, whether it is time or cost, these are typical random numbers. They are not continuous numbers. They are absolutely random. And we have to find out based on, let's say, for example, you have got a project. You have asked 5 experts, what time are you going to take, how much money, and how much time. Let's say they're saying, okay, we are going to spend about $1 million and 3 months to complete this project. If you take that estimates from 5 different people, there will be 5 different values coming out of these 5 different people. And these values are absolutely random. And the objective is now to find the right value. How do you find out the right value of the random numbers? That means we need to find the convergence value for these random numbers. The only way you can find a convergence value for these random numbers is Monte Carlo simulation. It's like running a gamble, you are running a roulette and deciding where the ball is going to sit on a roulette. So all these estimates are like that. Estimates for time and cost given by estimators are all random. Finally, you are taking all these estimates and putting it on a random number table after understanding the probability distribution and saying, okay, this is 80% possible in terms of cost and about 90% possible in terms of time. That means you need to provide for 20% contingency for the cost and 10% contingency for the time. That's what Monte Carlo tells you ultimately. So utility, of course, in terms of decision, what is the utility of a particular decision for a particular project, and that utility part. Let's quickly move over. I explained all this, expected monetary value, and Monte Carlo also explained. Ultimately, I want all of you to get this feeling that if the project scope is well defined, then there is a possibility of realistically achieving the projections given by all the people. If the scope is not well defined, the probability of achieving the cost estimates are poor. And a very poorly defined scope leads you to a very broad estimation. Actually, what I have given below is how do you handle such projects? That is a kind of a clue. That is, when you have a very kind of defined scope where the cost can be defined very well, then I would even take that project on a firm fixed price. Whereas when the scope is not so well defined, there are some inadequacies in the scope. That means estimates will not be close to reality. Then I would take it on a cost plus fixed fee basis. And when the scope is very poorly defined, I would always take it cost plus fixed. That means cost plus fixed cost or whatever percentage fee. So you recover your cost and you get your percentage fee. So that's a kind of a contract that you would write for such risks. That's decision tree. I just want to show you a decision tree. That's it. There are 2 options available, multiple branches, and as you can see, There are multiple probabilities, 60% chance, a 40% chance, a 60%, 40%, and you fold it back and figure out which one to take. That's the idea of a decision tree. A comparison between the two, decision tree and Monte Carlo. Ultimately, Monte Carlo is highly quantitative, more precise, and gives you values for your residual risk for contingency. There are professional software available. As I told you earlier, you have Portmaster, which reads from MS Project and Primavera, then performs simulation, then At Risk from Palisade. It actually links to Microsoft projects and does all this analysis for you. Then, of course, Risky Project. Risky Project has the advantage that it has got what I call as laundry list of risks. If you define the domain like automotive industry, then it will list about 100 or 200 risks that are typical for an automotive industry. So you could pick from there. So it's pretty easy to use that tool. Of course, there are open source software as well, which has got simulation capabilities. And the Primavera can be, it can be linked to P6, Monte Carlo simulation software available, which can be linked to P6 as well. Well, typically the software can model thousands of activities in less than a minute. So even if you have listed hundreds of risks in there and you want to simulate it, it is possible. It can do the schedule, uncertainty on activity duration, and also resource usage. All of that can be done, and probability that an activity will occur. All of that can be done. In the case of cost as well, you can do uncertainty on activity cost, uncertainty on resource cost, and of course probabilistic cash flow.